that we're going to go in, and this is for our platform dais guest as well. President Ross will speak, and then Circuit Clerk Tiffany McCord will speak. Dean Janice Franklin will speak. Dr. Howard Robinson will speak, and then we will sign the loan agreement. Ladies and gentlemen, the President of Alabama State University, Dr. Quentin T. Ross, Jr.
Thank you and good morning. We thank everyone for being here. Today is a very special day for Alabama State University. Today we have the opportunity and the privilege to partner and to share in documents that tell a story about a movement that not only took this city but took this nation by storm, and that would be the Montgomery bus boycott. We're so proud that Alabama State has been the epicenter for such a historical undertaking in the state, in the nation. When you talk about Alabama State and the Montgomery bus boycott, you have to reflect on its major involvement. It was the basement of Alabama State University where the message was put together to tell citizens in Montgomery, Alabama, that we will no longer be treated like second-class citizens here at Alabama State University. And so today we're honored to be here with documents that tell the untold story of those unsung heroes that participated in a movement that not only changed Montgomery, but changed the world. And so at this time, I'm just so excited to introduce to you Ms. Tiffany McCord, our circuit clerk, so that we can discuss this very important event further. Thank you.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm so excited to be here this morning and to be able to partnership with Alabama State University in preserving the history of our court documents, preserving the history of the story of the bus boycott and the trials that happened dealing with the bus boycott. When I found these documents in the courthouse wrapped up in a box that with no real description on them, I knew I had found something that needed to be saved, something that needed to be preserved for future generations. And I knew that we didn't necessarily have all of the tools to do it ourselves. But what better thing to do than to come to where Rosa Parks actually went to high school and allow them to help us with the digitization of these documents and the preservation of these documents. So I'm honored that Alabama State has agreed to work with us. I'm honored that Alabama State has agreed to be a party with this great thing. Alabama State is quickly becoming a civil rights tourist attraction with the Interpretive Center, the National Center. There's so much that is going on here, and this is a little more that the public will get the opportunity to see these documents, to view these documents, and they'll no longer be locked away, dying by the wayside. Thank you.
Thank you and good morning. I am Dr. Janice Franklin. I'm Dean of the Library and Learning Resources Center here and also Project Director for the National Center for the Study of Civil Rights and African American Culture at Alabama State University. On behalf of the National Center, I would like to express my sincere appreciation to the Honorable Circuit Clerk Tiffany McCord and our esteemed President, Dr. Quentin T. Ross, for granting us the opportunity to house these prestigious papers in our university's historic archives. This donation and loan supports our mission to serve as a research center and a repository of information relative to the modern civil rights movement with a special focus on Montgomery and ASU's role in civil rights history. It is our intent to digitize these documents using modern information technologies that will ensure access to researchers, students, and visitors worldwide. These materials will serve as learning tools for understanding the great movement for nonviolent social change that began in Montgomery among courageous citizens in the African American community. These rare artifacts of American history will also connect with other prestigious collections in our archives that include the papers of Dr. E.D. Nixon, the Montgomery Improvement Association, the Reverend and Mrs. Robert Gratt's collection, and others that will complement this extremely important acquisition that we are indeed honored to receive today. Thank you again, Ms. McCord, for understanding the importance of these documents and for ensuring their preservation at Alabama State University, the university at the heart of the modern civil rights movement. Thank you.
I'm Dr. Howard Robinson, University Archivist, Steering Committee of the National Center for the Study of Civil Rights and African American Culture. I guess it's my responsibility to house these documents as the archivist, and we're very excited. I am personally excited. One, because in Montgomery, well, throughout the world, we sort of understand the role that Martin Luther King played and Rosa Parks played, and certainly these documents identify and chronicle the litigation that surrounded both Rosa Parks and Martin Luther King, the appeal process, and elements associated with their legal journey. One of the things that we identified, and we wanted to highlight some of the documents in this collection, is not only do we see, for instance, in this document about Rosa Parks and her trial, but we see how the city understood that its initial charge against Rosa Parks would not stand constitutional scrutiny. And so you see where they crossed out the initial charges and inserted new charges. And so to see these documents and see that how that change was being made, I think it adds a special element to these documents. You also see a document, there's another document behind us here, that is a certificate of appeal. So in this anti-boycott case, and I'll explain a little bit about that later, but in this anti-boycott case, Martin Luther King is tried, but you see his initial conviction, you see the terms of his appeal, but you also see the individuals who post bond for Martin Luther King. So we're starting to bring in a deeper and more intimate story. And so around the world, people might be able to focus on Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks. But here in Montgomery, we want to talk about a more textured story. And so there are 89, well, we counted 115 individuals who are indicted as a part of this anti-boycott litigation. The city of Montgomery brought against 115 Montgomeryans who were attached to the bus boycott and charged them with violating a 1921 Alabama law that prohibited individuals from participating in boycott-related activities. And so these records not only show us those individuals, but show us the individuals who posted bond, the witnesses who were at the bus when Rosa Parks was arrested, the witnesses against Martin Luther King. So this rich treasure trove of information is going to allow us here at Alabama State to sort of identify, popularize, celebrate, and research many of the individuals who were attached to this historic event, but don't normally get the type of press and celebration that we see with Rosa Parks and Martin Luther King. So we're very excited about this collection here at Alabama State, and we promise to be excellent stewards and provide access to not only the local community, but the national community and international community.
We are now going to ask Circuit Clerk McCord and President Ross if they'll step up front and sign. We have a pen up there, Mr. President. Sign the loan agreement. And as we do that, we would be remiss if we didn't announce Trustee Brenda Brown Hunter, who's with us today.
You ready?
Members of the press, do you have any open questions you would like to do now, or would you prefer to do sidebars? Members of the press?
Sidebars.
Sidebars? Everybody wants their own thing.
Thank you
Thank
all so
y'all
much
very
for
much
being
for
here.
being here.
Thank you so much.